Hey guys, what's going on? It's RC Knockout and I am back with another video. Now if you guys are new to the channel, my name is Nolan and in today's video I have a pretty big update on my Arrma Kraton EXB. Now if you've watched this, you know that the rear diff is basically destroyed on this. It's been destroyed from the very first run because it was improperly shimmed. Been waiting on a diff for about 4 months, I want to say. And look what just showed up in the mail, guys. Right here. I have got a new diff. It took a long time, and it was on back order. All these parts were on back order, so I couldn't really do anything with this RC. And then I put a locker spool in the back. I tried earplugs in the back before the locker spool. None of those things really worked all that well. It actually caused more damage. I ended up stripping out wheel hexes on the rear wheels. I stripped out 2 rear wheels now because it spun the hexes, because I think I have the locker spool in the back. Now, I still have that diff in the back, but now, most recently, and I haven't driven this in about 2 months, but most recently, the last time I drove it, I stripped the rear pinion and the diff gear. So I don't know exactly why that stripped, because I did actually have that shimmed. I've taken this diff out probably 6 or 7 times at this point and messed with it, taken it apart, changed the fluid, changed the amount of shims underneath the pins, tried a bunch of different methods to try to get this thing up and going so I could make some content for you guys. Because that's the whole reason why I bought the RC, and I think that's the main reason why I was so frustrated. Was I bought this RC after it was newly released because I wanted to show it on my channel, and now it's kind of like old news. You know, it's been out for a while. I haven't been able to make content. The only content I've really been able to make is just talking about my issues, which is not really the type of videos I wanted to make. The type of videos I wanted to make is extreme bashing videos. My plan is to take this to the skate park, do a bunch of different stuff with it, and really test this platform. And unfortunately, up until this point, I have not done that. So I haven't gotten a chance to really test out this machine, which is why I've been so frustrated that I don't even know how well this thing actually truly performs when everything is working properly. So, to cut to the chase, guys, basically, I'm going to install this, and hopefully I'll be out ripping this thing in no time. Also, I got a new pinion. This actually came about a month ago, so I've had this pinion for quite a while, actually, because the pinion got completely stripped, the original one as well. They also happened to send me some shims. And now the weird thing, guys, is if you watched, I posted a video on December 13th giving you guys an update on this machine. And what I said in the video was, I've gotten no new news about it. I didn't think anything. I wasn't even sure if I'd get a diff by the end of the year. I was pretty surprised when this showed up. Now, I was looking at the paperwork that came with these. And these shims right here, which I didn't really even ask for shims, but they sent me some shims regardless. This right here, the order date said the 14th. So this was ordered on the 14th of December. Keep in mind, I haven't talked to Arrma since October. They've had my name and everything. So this was ordered on December 14th, the day after I put up that video, talking about how I was disappointed in Arrma and, kind of my thoughts. And this guy's right here, this differential, the date that it was ordered, so that's ordered, not delivered. The day that it was ordered was on December 18th. So 5 days after I posted the video talking about Arrma and my issues that I've been having with Arrma. Now, maybe that's a coincidence that it just so happened to come in, but I found it weird that it said it was ordered on the 18th. It did not say shipped on the 18th. It said ordered. So I don't know if they just finally put my info in or what. But I have a feeling somebody at Arrma might have seen that video. Maybe they were able to connect the dots and figure out exactly who I was and was able to get that diff to me. And if that's the case, I truly do appreciate that. If that is the case. If it's a coincidence, then either way, I have a diff. So it's just kind of odd that it shipped out 4 days, 5 days, or was ordered 5 days after I made that original video giving an update on the machine and how I was pretty disappointed. I am thoroughly surprised, guys, and hopefully we don't have issues with this one. This is a limited slip one, I think, because it says active. I assume the active means that's a limited slip. This is obviously going to go in the rear. I also got a pinion, and this pinion actually came about a month ago, so I've had the pinion sitting around for a while. And like I said, they sent these shims out on the 14th. I didn't order shims. Well, I did order shims, but they sent me shims a long time ago to reshim my diff. But for some reason, they sent me more shims. And these look to be the ones that go underneath the pin. But I am not going to mess with that because this one better have the right amount of shims. All I'm going to do for this, guys, is I'm probably going to open it up and check to make sure there's diff fluid in it. I'm not removing the pins. I'm not removing any of the gears. I'm just going to make sure that it's full of fluid. And then hopefully they shim these diffs properly with the correct amount of shims under the pin. Because I'm not going to start pulling this whole thing apart to check. Even though some might say that's a good idea. No, I'm slapping this in. Hopefully the issue's fixed. And we'll be able to rip this thing. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. Alright guys, so jumping right into this, we're going to jump right into tearing the old diff out and putting the new one in. I'm just going to go ahead and start disassembling it. So we have 4 screws. I believe these are 2.5mm, one here, 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 and here. Alright guys, so once you get those 4 screws out that hold the diff cover on, there are 2 2mm. Let me turn this around so you guys can see. Right up in here, guys. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see this, but right here, there's a 2mm on either side that holds the end of the sway bar link on. So you got to remove that. Alright guys, now once you get these 2mm screws out that are holding the sway bar links on the front of the rear suspension arms, then you're free to pull the differential cover off. So there we go. That just pops off like such. And here's the diff that's been causing us all the issues. Now let's see, I might need to undo the 2mm on either side that hold the bottom shock mounts on, because I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this out otherwise. Pull the differential out. Oh, I was. So I don't know if you guys can see the condition of this diff. It's not in the greatest shape. And internally is where there's a bigger problem. But the pinion gear is actually, I think, worse for this. So yeah, this thing was causing a lot of grinding. I think you can tell right here. You can definitely see there's some teeth that have some issues. So you can see those teeth are a little bit more pronounced. Come in here, there's a few teeth that are really kind of chewed up. I think they've just all kind of been worn down. So this one coming out, and this one is going in. Now, the other thing I need to do, guys, is I need to get that pinion out, that rear pinion gear. And to get the rear pinion gear out, the first thing I have to do, guys, is there is a, I believe this is a 2mm grub screw that holds this coupler piece on, which then clamps onto the pinion. So you have to undo that and just loosen that up like such. And then that coupler piece right there is now free. And now what we can do, guys, is we can go ahead and get a needle nose, and we have to get in here and pull that pinion gear out. And here's the pinion. You can see this one's pretty well chewed up. The edges are all kind of rounded off. So this pinion we've got a replacement for. So this one out and this one in. I'm going to clean out this diff housing just a smidge, just to make sure there aren't any big pieces of metal teeth, because I have been chipping teeth, so I don't want any metal in there once I install the new differential. Alright, so now I have that pretty well cleaned out. So I'm going to get this differential opened up. Alright, now this, guys, this is a diff that's going in. Off camera real quick, I am going to just open it up and make sure there's fluid in it. If there's fluid in it, then I'm going to slap it in. Doesn't feel the smoothest, actually. Maybe that's a locking action, because this is supposedly a limited slip, but yeah, it doesn't feel the smoothest. If anything, the gear mesh is probably too tight in here rather than too loose. But I'm going to put it in anyway, because supposedly Arma has got this figured out. And actually, if this is a limited slip, I don't think they ever had issues with the limited slip. I believe it was only with the open differentials in the rear. Now, the other things this comes with, guys, is they also included some shims right here to put along the side of the bearing to just push this a little bit closer. So you see, once I get this in here, let me push this down in. And actually, guys, there's very little movement. The thing I noticed last time was I was barely able to get one shim on this. So I don't know if this needs shimmed at all, because checking the side-to-side movement, there is very, very little movement from side to side when I just push it like that. So I don't know if I'm going to shim that at all, because I don't want it too tight. So let me get this back out, because we do have to install that pinion gear in there. So let me grab out the new pinion gear. All right, guys, so here is the new pinion. See if that'll focus. Spiral cut. This is just going to slide right in. And that is in. Okay, so this coupler piece, you get this back on. This holds on this piece right here. You can't really see what's going on, but you're not missing out on too much. I'm basically just going to push that through right there. And while I'm holding that, I'm actually going to tighten that grub screw back down as I have it pushed. Just so this doesn't slide out the front portion once again. I've got that front coupler, which if you can't really see, the coupler right here is this piece right in here. And there's just a grub screw that goes through it, through the top. And this is actually what holds this dog bone onto the flat portion of the pinion gear. So basically, it clamps down. If you look at this, here's the one we took out. It's flat on either side, so you can basically screw it down onto, I assume, either side. But anyhow, now what we're going to do, guys, is I open that up and I checked, and there is fluid in it. I'm not doing anything more than that. What we're going to do, guys, is I'm going to slap some grease on it. I have got this Cow RC? Yeah, cowarc.com. This is Utter Butter. So I'm going to slap some of this on the differential gear and smidge on the pinion gear up in here. I don't want too thick of a layer, but I do want it all covered. Alright, guys, I'm going to call that good enough. And like I said, once I slide this in, I'll check again, but I don't think I'm going to need to put one of these shims right here along the side. I don't think there's enough movement. I looked at a video and they basically showed if there's movement from side to side, then you should definitely put one to push this side right here a little bit closer to that pinion gear, so this gear mesh right here is closer. But I don't think that's going to be our issue. So what I have to do now, guys, is I have to fumble with getting the dog bones. Which side is which? Okay. Need to get the dog bones, and this is going to be tricky. I have to get the dog bones in along with popping this differential back in. So it should pop in. There we go, guys. Pop down in. It's not the easiest squeeze, actually, because it really bumps here. So I'm going to check the side to side right now, and there's very, very little. I don't know if you guys can see this, but there's basically no movement in there from side to side. I mean, the tiniest bit, but not enough where I'm even going to warrant putting a shim on. You know what? That's actually just coming, that's not coming from the diff, that's coming internally. Because when I go and push just on the pinion, or sorry, when I go and I just push on the bearings on the outside, those are snug. So now what I'm going to do, guys, is basically the reverse process. And I don't really need to show that, but basically you put the 4 screws back on, get that diff cover put back on, get the 2mm hooked onto the front that hold the sway bar links down, and then this thing slapped back together. And then in the next video, hopefully you'll see me running this thing, and hopefully I'll get through a bashing session where this thing actually won't have any differential problems. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. Also, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell, so then you'll be notified whenever I come out with new videos. Because obviously, if I can start bashing this thing, there's going to be more videos on the Kraton EXB. You guys are going to want to see it. So, I will see you guys in another video. Thank you very much for watching. Alright guys, one more little thing. I was able to get this differential cover back on, but unfortunately, when I was tightening these down, I stripped the head on this one, unfortunately. So that one, probably, it's tightened all the way down, but I think I'm going to probably have an issue trying to get that back out. And this one right here, I stripped the threads out completely. It wasn't holding at all. The original screw, wherever it Where did I put the original screw? The original screw right here was just spinning in there. So I accidentally stripped that out. So what I did was, the only screw I could find that I had was quite a bit longer, and I just wanted one that was a smidge longer. So what I did was, I just put some little plastic spacers underneath, tighten this down, and this does seem to be all the way tight, and I don't think this is going to cause any issues. I don't think it's too long. I think I got it just right where it is tightened down. So that doesn't look the greatest, but for functionality purposes, it shouldn't cause any issues since I got it all snugged up. So just might have an issue if I ever need to get that back out again, which hopefully we don't have to get to the diff anytime soon, because that one, the head on it, completely stripped. It's probably because I've been doing these top ones without removing this. I should have not been so lazy, and I should just remove the wing, but I was able to get up under here and get those tightened down and loosened, but I think I've done it so many times. It's my own fault, but I've been opening and taking this diff cover on and off like this is probably the 8th time at this point. So anyhow, guys, that should hold, and I will see you guys in the next video. Later.